You had everything you were supposed to have: a home, food on the table, maybe even parents who said, "I love you." So why does it still feel like something is missing? Why do you feel alone in rooms full of people who care about you? Why do you struggle to explain your feelings, even to yourself? Here's the part no one talks about. You can be loved and still never truly seen. Imagine this. You're a child again. You walk into the room excited to share something. Maybe it's a drawing, maybe it's a story, maybe it's just a feeling you don't understand yet. But instead of someone really listening, you hear, "Not now. You're overreacting. You're fine." So you nod, you shrink, you go quiet. Not because you wanted to, but because you learned something important in that moment. Your inner world doesn't matter here. And it doesn't happen just once. It happens in small, invisible ways. When your sadness was brushed off. When your anger was punished. When your excitement felt like too much. No one meant to hurt you. That's what makes it confusing. They loved you the best they could. But love, without understanding, can feel like loneliness. Pause for a second. Think about this. Were you allowed to feel everything growing up? Or only the emotions that made life easier for others? Because when a child isn't truly seen, they don't stop feeling, they just stop showing. And that's where it begins. You learn to smile when you're not okay. You learn to say, "I'm fine," automatically. You learn to hide the parts of you that feel inconvenient, not because they're wrong, but because they were never welcomed. And slowly, something deeper forms. You start to disconnect from yourself. You don't know what you feel anymore. You just know something feels off. You overthink simple things. You replay conversations. You question your reactions. Am I being too sensitive? Is this even a big deal? Because no one ever helped you trust your emotions. This is what emotional invisibility does. It doesn't leave obvious scars. It leaves confusion. You weren't neglected in a way people recognize. You weren't unloved in a way you can easily explain. So you invalidate your own pain. You tell yourself, "Others had it worse. I shouldn't feel this way." But the truth is, being unseen is its own kind of wound, and it follows you into adulthood. In relationships, you crave deep connection, but struggle to open up. You want someone to understand you, but you don't fully understand yourself. So you adapt. You become easy to love. You listen more than you speak. You give more than you receive. You sense everyone's emotions, except your own. And people appreciate you for it. But inside, there's still that quiet feeling, "No one really knows me." Here's another moment to pause. When was the last time you felt truly understood, without having to explain yourself? Because when you've spent your life being unseen, you start believing that's just how life is. That deep connection is rare, that your emotions are complicated, that maybe you're the problem, but you're not. You were just never taught how to be seen. And here's the part that changes everything. The goal was never just to be loved, it was to be understood, to have someone sit with your emotions without fixing, judging, or dismissing them. To hear, "That makes sense." To feel, "I see you." Not the version of you that performs, not the version that keeps the peace, the real you. But if you didn't receive that growing up, you might still be waiting for someone else to give it to you. And that's where the pattern continues. You search for people who might finally see you, while still hiding the parts that need to be seen. It's not your fault. It's just what you learned. But here's the realization most people never reach. You don't just want to be loved, you want to be known. And before someone else can truly do that, you have to start doing it for yourself. That means sitting with your feelings instead of dismissing them. It means asking yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Even if the answer is messy, even if it doesn't make sense, it means slowly reconnecting with the parts of you that were pushed aside. The sensitive part, the emotional part, the part that once tried to speak and was ignored. This won't feel natural at first, because you spent years learning how to disappear. But little by little, you can learn how to stay with yourself. And something changes when you do. You stop needing constant validation. You stop questioning every emotion, You start recognizing your own voice, and for the first time, you don't feel invisible anymore. You were loved, but you weren't fully seen, and that hurt you in ways you're still discovering. But it also means this: there's a version of you that's been waiting to be understood. Not by the world, not by everyone, just by you. And maybe that's where healing begins, not in being louder, not in proving your pain, but in finally saying, my feelings matter, even if no one taught you that before.